Let's do some championship predictions then for the upcoming season. The championship is back this weekend, and honestly, it's the best league in the world. And I'd say the quality of the league this year is much higher to last season. I think last season's promoted 3 are going to really struggle in the Premier League. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see with Wolves and West Ham, obviously, in the league there. Very much favourites to do well, but we have got some surprises in this video. So, kicking things off with bottom of the table, it's going to be Bolton Wanderers. I think, as I said, the gap from League One to the Championship is going to get bigger. Same with the Premier League to the Championship. Like, all these gaps are forming, and I just don't see it with Bolton's squad. They've got Ryan Hardy on a free, Ben Davies on a free. Like, it's really League One-esque level quality players. So for me, I just don't see it with Bolton, sadly, unless they can pull something out of the bag. Cardiff City are going to be my team in the second bottom position, which might be surprising to some people because I think a lot of people are predicting them to have a good season. For me, it's the style of play that they do play. It is good, but sometimes you just need that like rigid kind of, defensive play to stay up in that first season. And that's, I just don't see it with Cardiff. So far, they've only signed a goalkeeper, Nathan Trott, who was there last season, of course. So yeah, I think they do need to definitely. I mean, they did get Jack Moylan from Lincoln, but yeah, for me, I just think they need to do a lot more. Then in the last relegation position, they've been in the Championship for 12 seasons in a row now. But I think Preston will be the one to drop down. I think out of the 3 promoted League One teams, Lincoln have got the best shot of staying up with the way that they do play. But Preston, I think losing Ben Whiteman's a massive one, to be honest, because he's kind of kept it together there for quite a while. I'm not massively convinced. They got Alfie Devine, who, was there last season, but yeah, I don't know. I could very much see them dropping out in there. But then again, they've got a decent manager in Heckingbottom, so could very easily stay up. In 21st position, we're going to go for Watford. I think Watford really are on the cusp of dropping. And I think because they just change managers so often, they have no real loyalty. On the flip side, it does kind of work because you just get those like 5 or 6 run of games with the new manager and a new bounce. So that kind of just keeps them up throughout the season. So yeah, they have got a lot of players from Udinese in the transfer market so far, which is a shock. But yeah, for me, if they're losing here in Kunda, their best player, it's going to be a very tricky season. Then in 20th, I'm going to go for Lincoln City. I think, as I said, out of the 3 promoted teams, they're the most kind of defensively strong and will be up for a relegation battle kind of thing. The only issue is quality. I think the players that they have signed so far it's not really, cutting the mustard. So I think they definitely need to hopefully get some more in. They've only got 2 more loans to potentially bring in. They've brought in Joe Gaethje from Aston Villa in goal, Mason Melly, I don't even know who that is, from Tottenham, and Callum Elder from Derby. Great left back. Then in 19th, I'm going to go for Charlton. I think I've just seen Alfie Jones renew his contract, so that is a big one. And to be honest, Charlton could very easily go up the table, depending on their free agents that they have signed. So they signed Colin Grant and Nathaniel Shalabar, who I think both of those are really good champions. Like, especially Colin Grant on his day, he's not really clicked at West Brom. But if they can get, at 28 years old, Colin Grant, I think, on a free, is the kind of thing Derby could have potentially looked at in terms of a punt player that obviously does well in the Championship. He's gone to Charlton, so that'll be interesting. Obviously, losing Lyndon Dykes, who, for me, that might be the worst move so far. This, in terms of like Millwall trying to go for promotion, I don't understand that at all. Then in 18th position, it's going to be Blackburn Rovers. Again, maybe I'm being generous. I think a lot of people will probably put them lower in the table, but I think Tony Mowbray is a lot of the heavy lifting. I think he's a great appointment, and they'll just grind it out. They're not going to spend all that much really. So yeah, I think I'll just go from there. 17th position, we're going to go Swansea City, which again could be higher. They've had a pretty busy window. And I think Ross Stewart on a free, great bit of business. Elijah Just did well for New Zealand at the World Cup. Apoku, obviously Ghanaian winger as well. Yeah. Matos is very hot and cold kind of manager. That's the only thing. Like, plays great football. But sometimes that just doesn't work in the chat. You need somebody who's like very universal with the style of play and everything. And when you kind of one-dimensional like a Swansea, you can just get picked off kind of easily. So yeah, for me, again, it's just going to be a mid-table finish for Swansea. Then in 16th position in the Championship, if I just say that sentence, which team do you think of? It's going to be Stoke City. Stoke, again, I've spent quite a bit this window, but I just don't see it. I just don't. Weirdly, did they get? Yeah, they had Milan Schmidt last season, but they've got him on a permanent now. I just don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, Ethan Goldbreak for 10 million from Swansea. For me, I think that's a little bit too much for what he is. Like, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but 10 mil is a lot of money for a midfielder in the Championship. Like Ingolson for $1 million, really good bit of business, sensible, nice player. But yeah, just 16th again for Stoke. No worries. 15th position, we're going to go for QPR. They've not done that much so far in the transfer market. So, yeah, I mean, a couple of decent free agents in Dennis Serkin, Tariq Lamptey, Glenn Kamara on loan. They're just sensible, really. Pierce Charles in goal will be an interesting one, obviously. Very good passing out of the back. Maybe not the best shot stopper. That's the only thing he could obviously work on. But yeah, losing Sam Field, but that kind of levels out with Glenn Kamara. Coming in 14th, it's going to be Pompey, who I think John Mousinho is definitely like top. I want to say top 5 manager in the league. I think he does a great job, and they look like they're doing just about enough with the signs that they've made. I can't put my finger out. I think Kamara from Hull is a decent one. So it's things like that that'll be interesting to see how they do. But yeah, I think as long as John Mousinho's there, they'll be safe. This is the first controversial one of the video, and a lot of fans from a certain club are going to be very, very angry. But for me, I'm putting Birmingham City. They have just signed Max Bird, so great midfield. I don't know if we've got any sell-on clause in that, so maybe a little bit of money coming Derby's way. But they already have they've got Pack in the midfield, really good midfielder. So I don't really see that as a weak area for Birmingham. Like, they've got John Solis on a permanent now from last season. He was all right, I guess, but not phenomenal. They'll throw in a free, sensible. James Beadle back on loan. But for me, it's the manager. Like, if Chris Davis, is there from now until the end of the season, they will not get above mid-table. Like, that is just his limits, in my opinion. I think they do need to go for someone bigger who can actually do the job. So until that happens, Birmingham are going to be 13th. Then in 12th, we have a team flying up the table from last season. It's going to be West Bromwich Albion. I think James Morrison was brilliant when he came in. And Jimmy J. Morgan might be pound for pound the best signing this summer for £1 million. Like, that to me, he's going to get at least 10 goals in the Championship. So really sensible. And they have just lost Alex Mowat, though, to Derby. So, do you know what I mean? That is a big loss for West Brom. But they have done some interesting, like the turnover in the squad. Darrell DK, Josh Madger, Jed Wallace, Colin Grant, all leaving on a free. That's going to free up a lot of money in the wages. So that'll be an interesting one to check. Then in 11th, we have another really controversial one. But I think it was their chance last season and they didn't take it in terms of promotion. And it's going to be Millwall. I think the major red flags that I'm seeing at Millwall is Danny Bath, Lyndon Dykes, and Mark Sykes as your signings. That, to me, just screams mid-table. It's not good enough. And if they lose like Kramer or Aziz, do you know what I mean? Forget about top half. You'll be battling it for relegation kind of thing. So yeah, it's. I just felt like last season was the one for Millwall, with it being such a weak league last year. Yeah, I'm gonna go get Not many people say Birmingham Mill 11th and 13th, but I could very easily see that coming off in this season. 10th position, we have a relegated team in Burnley. I mean, this could go well. It really does depend. I've not really seen much with the manager. That's the thing for me that is the reason why I've put him so low, is because he's just not a known quantity in the Championship. And when you had Scott Parker, who would guarantee you at least top 3, I don't know why they've got rid of him. Like, you keep with Parker for the Championship season, get you promoted, and then, you know what I mean, work out it then. But they've gone for this new bloke, I think from Belgium, I want to say. Yeah, Nicky Hayen. And they've not really done any business so far. They got Florentino on a permanent who was there last season, but then he might go anyway. It might be a case of just, yeah. So I'm not. See, wait, hang on. They bought. I think he had an obligate. Yeah, they don't have him. Sorry, I've read this wrong. It says Florentino was there last season. Bought him because of the clause. I want to say what is going on here? Yeah, had him on loan last season. Bought him because of the clause, and then sold him for less than the clause. So they bought it for 24 million, and they've sold him for 18. So really good £6 million loss there. Into 9th position, just missing out on the playoffs, and could really go in depending on how their new League One strikers do, is Bristol City. I think Tollage and Dan Ballard, really good, really young, and may take them a couple of seasons to get up and run in the Championship. But if one of them having a fine season, then yeah, they can get in the playoffs. But I've just gone just outside, obviously losing Max Bird today, who, big part of that midfield now. Obviously Jason Knight's still there, but yeah, I think Skabala is a good appointment for them. They got Sam Greenwood from Poland, who obviously was previously at Leeds. Jed Wallace on a free. So it's an interesting one, Bristol City. But again, I just don't think it's quite enough. Sneaking into the first playoff position, we do have Sheffield United, who I think a lot of people are writing off. And I think you've got to think, like, Wilder knows this league. Yeah, he got 90 points in his last full season. And they've just sold, obviously, Hamer and Brooks. So they've got a bit of money coming in for that. I think Calvin Phillips has signed on loan again. Matt Doherty as well. I think they'll spend a good... Now that Hamer and Brooks is gone, they will get some players in for them. So that'll be interesting to see what they do in that regard. But I think, as I said, like, Chris Wilder's just so good in this league. I don't see how he doesn't finish in the playoff positions. In 7th position, we're going to go Derby County. I could have gone higher. I really could. I think for me, I'm going to probably do this video again once the transfer window has shut, because at the minute, this is what I'm kind of going on. But once we can kind of see everyone's finalised squads for the season, because over the next 2 weeks, so many things are going to change. So many players are going to go from club to club. It really will make a lot of difference. So at the minute, I'm going to go 7th. I think Schmodix has looked really good in pre-season, looked great against Lincoln. So if he can get us like 15 goals plus Carlton Morris with another 15, that's a really good attack. We just need some wingers. Obviously, Alex Mowat coming in today. That Mowat and Travis as a midfield too is just a solid like 7 out of 10 every week in the Championship. That is just consistency defined, those two. So I think that's a really sensible signing from us. And yeah, I mean, Matty Clark might be injured out for a bit, so we might need to look at a centre-back as well. But yeah, I think Ajiman coming back in January, like, that's a big player. So yeah, I think 7th is a fair enough position for us. Next, this is going to be a bit... I mean, I might be going too low with this, but I'm going to do it because of mentality. And I think mentality alone, I'm going to go Middlesbrough. I think they had the shot so many times last season, and they should have done it and got into those automatic positions, and they just kept bottling it. Like, they were, I don't know, it's just so... It's kind of like when Derby were in the same situation of, we were in the playoffs, but never had the balls to go to that next level. So I think I can kind of see the same thing with Middlesbrough. Lancashire's a great signing. Vitek really good. Obviously losing Hayden Hackney, so big player to replace in the midfield. But I think their business has been very solid, like Carl Joseph as well. Sorry, Mento on a permanent. It's all very sensible, and yeah, that should do the job nicely. In 5th position, I think if I think they've done some great business so far, and I think if they aren't kind of knocking on, top 5 door by this, this time in November, they'll probably change manager and get somebody massive in. I'm going to go Wrexham. I think Anthony Patterson for 9 million, Imre for 6, Ben Whiteman for 3. They're all very good Championship players. Like, they're going to spend another probably. I'm trying to think with FFP. It's an interesting one because they haven't. The problem is with Wrexham is they don't have many assets that they've sold recently. But I think they should be. Yeah, I think they've got another 10, 15 million plus all their loans. That for me, I think with Wrexham they can get some good contacts in there. So yeah, I think Wrexham will be stronger. I think getting just outside playoffs in their first season is very good. But they'll expect playoffs this year as an absolute minimum. In 4th position, this might annoy some people, Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think for me, like Trippier and... it really does depend on Trippier and Jimenez. Like, if they can do 45 games, then fair enough. Just don't know. Yeah, and you've got to do that at a good 8 out of 10 every week. That's the thing for me. It's going to be interesting what happens with Krejci as well. Very, very good centre-back at this level, of course, who they've just signed on a permanent, but very easily could move on anyway because of an obligation. The thing is the manager. I think the manager, again, like Burnley, I don't know why you've not just stuck with Rob Edwards because you kind of guaranteed top 3 with him, whereas you're taking a punt on this random Portuguese bloke, and they might just fly and win the league, no problem at all. But yeah, for me, I'm just going to put them outside the automatics. Then in 3rd position, I think really good transfer window so far, and they should have a lot more to spend. It's going to be Southampton. I think after last season with the Spygate stuff, it's going to, just like Leeds in a way, when it happened to them, the season after they got automatic. So it could happen for Southampton of just flying the league. But yeah, Lewis Dobbin, Parrott's on a permanent, Carl Laren on a permanent, Mabamba from City, who we were linked to. Yeah, it's just really good business. And obviously losing Shea Charles for 30 million. Yeah, do you know what I mean? When you can sell a player for 30 million, it's a bit crazy. So they're definitely going to spend another 20 mil between now and the end of the window. Then in the automatics, I mean, everyone kind of knows who's finishing top. But in 2nd position, I've got Norwich City. They were the best team post-Christmas in the Championship. Like, they absolutely flipped the table. Mo Toure, he's going to score 20, 25 goals this season. No problem at all. Andre Brooks from Sheffield United, really good. So yeah, I can really see Norwich getting automatics because they have debatably the best manager in the league, I think. So yeah, I think I'm surprised not more people have predicted them finishing this high up, to be frankly honest. So yeah, obviously last position we're gonna go West Ham. Like, genuinely, if West Ham and to some extent Wolves, if they do not finish in the automatics, they have just failed monumentally as a football club because they have West Ham have sold 175 million worth of players with Matthias Fernandes, Somerville, Potts, losing big wages in like Adama Traore, Callum Wilson, Fabianski would have been on a bit as well. So money-wise, they should be flying. And they've got Manuel Solomon as well, who was at Tottenham. Joel Veltman, really good centre-back. So, and Jared Bowen, by the way. Jared Bowen, just in the Championship. Yeah, that'll be all right. So if West Ham don't finish, I think West Ham just have, with Nuno as well, I think that's why I've put him in the top position, because Nuno's got that Championship experience from when he did promotion with Wolves. So, yeah, I think for me, honestly, I think this is perfect for me. This Championship table, there's no real, because you're going to have teams that drop off like your Millwalls and stuff. But I think honestly, it's a good 9 out of 10. And I probably will do this again once the transfer window is shut, once West Ham has spent another 60 million or something and just guaranteed promotion. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think, where you think teams will finish. If you could do your 1 to 24, of course, and make sure you do subscribe as well, because I will be uploading much more EFL and Derby County related content on this channel, and we'll catch you all next time.